Okay, my video is going to be about the housing market in Britain. A mixed bag of policies to solve Britain's housing crisis. In a mini budget delivered on November 25th by George Osborne, the Chancellor, declared 3 times that the Conservative Party was the party of the builders. Mr. Osborne wants a new golden age in Britain's house building, something that is sorely needed. The construction of homes has been below its long-term trend since 1990. Prices have risen by 60% in real terms since 2000, faster than most other rich countries. To get the builders moving, Mr. Osborne unveiled a range of proposals. They mixed method with madness. The Chancellor plans to double the housing budget to build 400,000 affordable homes by 2020. That would bring Britain close to its overall building target of 250,000 houses a year, perhaps keeping its soaring prices in check. He said he was embarking on the biggest affordable house building program since the 1970s. But the government will go about buildings in ways that will be unfamiliar to Britons 4 years ago. Back then, local councils erected over 100,000 houses a year, almost all for rent. Now Mr. Osborne sees government-supported house building coming through private proprietors who would then sell the new houses. The Chancellor reiterated a manifesto commitment to build 200,000 starter homes, allowing for the first-time buyers sold at a 20% discount from the market price. The government had planned to fund the discounts on these houses by revealing builders of costly planning rules. Now it will also pay them $2.3 billion in subsidies. In addition, Mr. Osborne wants to boost shared ownership, where people buy a chunk of a house and pay rent on the rest, with the option to buy in full later. At present, there are many restrictions on shared ownership. Councils can exclude those who work outside the local area, for instance. Now, anyone with a household income less than $80,000 or $90,000 in London will be eligible. The hope is that 135,000 such homes will be built. Yet these plans are not without the drawbacks. House builders will be encouraged to provide dwellings to buy rather than rent. This is a problem for low-income families, for whom cobbling together a deposit is tricky and mortgage interest rates are higher. The government capping the sale price of a starter home at $450,000 in London, about 15 times the average salary there, and $250,000 elsewhere, 11 times the average. House builders have little reason to sell at much below that. And another proposal may counteract any price dampening effect. And perhaps the slightest policy yet, the Chancellor will offer interest-free mortgages for up to 40% of the value of new build homes in London to first-time buyers who are able to put down a 5% deposit. The idea is that by boosting the purchasing power, home ownership will rise. All it will actually do is get prices. Britain, by advancing murky planning system, makes housing supply unresponsive to demand. The number of planning approvals for houses is 1/3 lower than before the recession, even though prices are bubbling again. Mr. Osborne mentioned planning reform in the speech, but offered no details. Until that changes, efforts to deflate the housing bubble will not go far.